quick word on the dominance of the Boks up front. Especially against what is, as we've said, a very, very high caliber England pack. What went so right for the Springboks, Max?
Well, yeah, they had set piece parry, didn't they? Then they started to edge, and it edged into kind of sincere dominance in the second half. Well, they got mad depth there, but it's not just the depth of talent. It's sort of that whole the whole scrum as an organism for them is just they feed off it massively emotionally. And I think Malherbe obviously got, for the first penalty that England got over the sticks, that wasn't really a penalty for me. Malherbe's just literally twisted up Mako like a pretzel. And it just sort of shows you the sort of power and dominance they can exert there. And I think they set their stall out with that. And then in the second half, with the changing of the guard, Kitshoff really got weird and started dominating quite dramatically. But what was the answer to that? I think going in, it looked as if Will Stewart was heavily strapped already. He didn't have that strapping on against New Zealand. So like his right leg might have been somewhat compromised, but they were sort of trying to load up. So in the scrum, as you're coming down, sorry lads, we're going to get weird for a moment. Scrum science. So as you come down, the South Africa was sort of applying the pressure on the secondary, whereas England was sort of trying to dump the weight. And what was happening is they're getting so long out of their hips that they've got nowhere else to go when they go to shoot. But that's because they were scared of the weight that was coming from South Africa. And then
for those not watching, by the way, and listening, Max is pushing his fingers together.
Yeah, and like the orchestration of the front rows. And then South Africa took that and was just burying them on the engage. That's my scrum science for you. Rise of master of the air, a real line out forward, a link, a back rower. So but that's where I saw that in terms of the battle of the dark arts, if you like.
They just got bullied all over the field, didn't they? Really, like that. The South African pack just absolutely dominated them left, right, and centre, around the corner, in the line out, in the mauls. You know what I mean? They just absolutely pummeled him. Malcolm Marks is so fucking good. And
delightful to watch.
And then England trying to replicate their bomb squad, and it just went downhill. Didn't work. It's
You're really enjoying this, aren't you, Ralph?
Well, no. I'm just don't try. Like, it's obviously Eddie. Right, boys, you imagine him a week, right, guys? I've got my own ideas here. We're gonna have our own bomb squad, and then it just falling flat on its face.
Yeah,
well, it fucking didn't work, did it?
Quick word on Curtly Arendse, who's just the third Springbok to score in 6 consecutive tests. Danny Gerber and Chester Williams, the other ones. But I mean, assessment of that try when there's not a huge amount Marcus Smith could have done, but he was completely rinsed in that moment.
Me and Max aren't allowed to comment on this.
Yeah, man. Let's go with somebody who's been in a situation where skinning has happened and has done the skinning.
Well, more bin skin normally. No, I think it's what is quite nice, and I can't remember where I'd seen it referenced, is obviously the Springboks are renowned for producing these huge human beings, but look at Cheslin Colby and Curtly Arendse the weekend. You've got these magicians. A lot of them started on the 7 circuit, get the plug in for the 7s on that. But it's great just to, it's just this sort of playing with that freedom, which at times I just wish, feels like the England wingers would do at times. We've got such talented wingers and they're amazing at the kick chase side of things, which obviously drilled into them has been a big part of the kind of the tactical piece. But just have the freedom just to attack. It's what we all want to go and watch back three do. It's what you, as a back three player, you don't dream about chasing high balls like a Labrador, chasing a tennis ball. You dream about getting the ball in hand and taking players on and doing what he did to Marcus Smith. And it was great to see. And hopefully he's only a young guy. He's going to go on to be the next Cheslin Colby and sort of superstar.
But you're saying that, right? That's what people want. People want to see really that. And the fact that the Twickenham crowd are booing, at the final whistle, right, let's hit it. Right, that's 1 win out of 4 this autumn for England, 5 out of 12 in a year, their worst run since 2008. The money that, the RFU throws at the international game, that is not in anyone's books good enough to keep your job.
You know what the frustrating thing is that, and part of me is why I'm not necessarily been over exuberant in criticizing, is the thing is Eddie Jones is a smart coach. We could be having this conversation in 9 months' time. And they'll have grand slammed the Six Nations, and they'll be one of the favourites to win the World Cup. That's the bit that I still maybe it's the Englishman in me, Ryan. You can sort of tell me to shut up and talking rubbish. That's the bit I'm reluctant to call for it.
But yeah, Max, what's your feeling on that? Is there still that element of it's going to come good?
Well, hold on. When did they finish in the last Six Nations? Just quickly, I'm not. That's not me trying to tee it up. Like, was it? Did they have a bad Six Nations? I can't remember.
Yeah, they won.
Yes.
They lost. They came what?
Fourth,
No, they could have come fifth. Yeah, they lost 3 games. Right? Is that right? Yes.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, so they've had a shocking Six Nations. They've had a shocking summer tour. I just made that up.
No, they didn't. It wasn't. Yeah, they beat Australia 2-1, but
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But they've had a terrible autumn test. And are they going to struggle in Six Nations, Max? Would Georgia beat them?
Yes. I think
there you have it.
Well, no. What's the successful Six Nations for England? They have to win 4 games, don't they, really?
Yeah.
They have to. So they have to take two of the big dog scouts. We're talking about the 2
Scotland and Ireland.
The 2 favourites of...
You're laughing at.
I think Scotland will be tough. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, you're not allowed to laugh either.
Scotland's stock is rising right now. But
first game as well. Scotland, England down there at Twickenham as well.
Oh, woof! It's going to be yummy. It's going to be very yummy. Scotland will smell blood.
I mean, on a separate note, how good is it for the World Cup though? Looking forward to 23.
So good.
We've got so many teams now. Like normally we're talking about how good New Zealand are and that they're going to kill everybody.
Are they going to choke it or not?
New Zealand, South Africa. You know what? I actually fancy Australia as an outsider as well. They get a few more of those players back. They've not been far off against all of the teams, including Ireland, who everyone's talking up as been one of the favourites. So it's going to make for an amazing tournament, hopefully.
Yeah, Matt, you mentioned that there's this chance. You've got that feeling within you that big Six Nations and then bang, England back in at the World Cup next year, which is kind of exactly what Eddie Jones has been saying, right? He believes the team are building towards the World Cup and that results don't matter, which is kind of in any other business, that's quite a convenient, immeasurable KPI that you basically don't judge me on anything that's going bad, just judge me on something that hasn't happened yet. Have we seen improvements over the last 2-3 years?
I don't know whether we have we? In fits and starts, we've seen good performances, but you could argue probably 2019 getting to the final. Again, I'm trying to think of games post that. We've seen it in fits and starts, but I guess that's the frustration as an England supporter. You have those glimmers of hope where it looks decent, but it's that consistency that's been lacking, and the excuse or the reason behind that's always been about blooding new talent and blooding new players and building those combinations. But yeah, things keep sort of switching around again. But that's not to say that he'll make his mind up post this and we'll see them consistency for the next 12 months. I guess that's just the patriot in me just clinging on to that.
Max,
it's going to be
are they going to get rid of him, Max? Are they going to get rid of him?
For the World Cup?
Before the World Cup, do you reckon he's getting the sack?
No, he's done too much. He's got enough credit in the bank, I reckon.
You reckon?
Yeah, I don't think they'll get rid of him. But let's play in the hypothesis land, right? England's great. I'd say this is England's greatest generation of talent. Like this is the crop that sort of won all the under-20s World Cups. It's outrageous. We've got freak shows all over the park. Depth like the Mariana Trench in all positions.
Yeah, well,
is England? Yeah, no, you're going to be like, well, yeah, all right. Well, we'll just wait for me to finish. Is England's success in spite of Eddie Jones or because of it? Dun dun dun. Does he just like grind them down to pulp and then it just goes, it like fluctuates? Or are they, how much of the influence is actually his? I don't know. That's what I try and figure out about these things. Especially these like...
You always get so deep.
Yeah, I know, sorry. I have to
we got two Englishmen. You got Matt and Max. You know, would you get rid of him?
I wouldn't. I think to Max's point, I think he's got too much credit in the bank. Yeah, again, I'm just sort of clinging on that he's a great tactician, but performances have got to improve. And it's, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it soon to give yourselves that sort of 10, 12 months leading into the World Cup. I don't think he will go there, no.
Matt, I get it. You're saying potentially you could see the same thing as 2019, you know, everything will come good. Max, you seem to sort of be more on the fence.
Max, you saying you think from all his results recently, he should keep his job?
Stop loading the dice, old bean. I hate to see it. I see what you're up to, shuffling away on those cards. No, I think he stays in. I think he stays in.
Why?
Because he's done enough. He's got the best win rate with England they've ever had.
Before when? Before 2009.
But then
win percentage. He is the man. He's the daddy. Is it not anymore? Has it gone down now?
Not since post World Cup. He's at a 50% win success rate.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. I don't know how to explain my way out of that one. All I'm saying is, God, it's good we're not in football, eh? Yeah. This is the chrysalid, you know, where they crush and change, and there's a lot of scrutiny of the soul happening, and then they flourish and persevere.